Welcome back. You're here with Crystal Tottenham of Crystal Clear Coaching. That is I. We are day 21 of January now, 21st of January 2026. And yesterday I was talking about how I invited you to see everyone for the best and highest version of themselves. See the best in people, essentially, is what I was saying. Even if they're not seeing it for themselves. But also, first and foremost, choose in moments when you notice you're not doing it subconsciously or consciously. I invite you to choose to see, what's in your best and highest. How can you start showing up for your best and highest in any given moment when you notice that it's not quite happening right now. And believing that you're worthy of that best and highest path for you, however that sits for you, and how it's discerned by you, because it's you that get to choose what you want to create and build and have and enjoy and feel in your own life. And then leading on from that, today I want to talk about how we're all connected. Everything is connected. Not just people, not just the entirety of all the people in the world, but I'm talking about, all the plants, all the objects, all the things, everything. Everything is energy, and energy is everything. And energy is all running through us. Divine energy. We are all connected, and we come here as spiritual beings to have a human experience. And everything in the universe is connected. We come here to have the human experience, I believe, through many spiritual texts that I've read or listened to, and spiritual teachers I've listened to, that us being separate beings, us having separate lives, separate identities, separate names, all that is just part of the illusion of separation, when really we are all connected. And look, I really love my character of Crystal Tottenham, and I love her as a separate person, but also I know whenever I'm feeling heavy feelings, feeling down, I know I'm not connecting enough to people around me, to the world around me, to sit and meditate, to connect with the higher realms. If everything is connected, can I see someone arguing down the street and see how that's showing up in my energy field, but it's all actually still, as much as it's nothing to do with me, my character of Crystal, it's still showing up in my field, so it's still connected to me, it's still affecting me, but also all the things that I don't see going on in the world at any given moment, and that you don't see in any given moment, they're all connected. All parts affect the whole. So everything that's happening in the world affects everything that's happening in the world, or not happening in the world. We're all connected, and the illusion of separation is what keeps us fighting, trying to one up each other, trying to always be right over being connected, choosing ego. And don't get me wrong, as much as I think I'm a good person, I know the ego runs the show frequently for me, and I have to note when that's happening, and notice that. I try not to make it mean too much, but I try to notice what would it be like if I made a decision in this instance not from ego, So yeah, I think about that, and then I think, what could I do to connect in this any given moment? What's showing up in my life that I feel just yucky about or iffy about? Like, why is that showing up for me? If I'm connected to everything and everyone, how can I take time to sit with how that part of me, us, all of us, everything, how that part of me is making me feel? How can I sit with that and find healing and peace with that? And cultivate reconnection. I don't know if any of you guys know the actor Jim Carrey. Probably know the actor Jim Carrey, but I don't know, it might have been 10 years ago now. Somewhere between 6 and 10 years, I want to say. He ended up on a red carpet for a fashion show, and he was dressed in beautiful designer clothing, but for some reason he was not about that falsity, that mask of being the actor on the hot fashion show red carpet that night. And he talked about himself as a character, like, and how he's kind of, he's a nice guy, but I'm sick of playing the character, or I just chose not to play the character that night. And he was talking about these deep spiritual truths, and like, there were a lot of people that just looked at him and thought, oh, he's gone crazy. But actually, maybe he's done the opposite. Maybe we're all crazy for believing that we're separate. I don't know. Again, I am viewing this with curiosity. When I first heard of this idea, I definitely came at it with curiosity. I'm trying to think where I first. I think I first learned it through Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul. I think also, partially also from Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. Now, I'm not religious in any way, shape or form, never have been. Just want to be clear that it is not a religious text. Just because it says Conversations with God. Like, honestly, I knew of that book for many years. I used to work at a bookstore in retail, and I didn't have it on my radar as something I'd be interested in reading for that whole time, for at least 10 years, if not longer, that I knew of it existing, because I just thought it was religious and it didn't appeal to me then. And that was all part of my journey that wasn't ready to show up for me just yet. But when I had my coach suggest that I read it before I started my coaching course, it blew me away. It blew me away. It was so wonderful, the amount of peace it gave me about life and death and what else is out there and how things might be connected. And it's all just Neil, the author. He was just fed up with the life just getting harder and harder as it felt, and just one morning he woke up early and just started writing and basically ranting at the universe, like, oh, why is this happening like this? Why can't I just catch a break? Why? And then when he felt like he was done, was ready to put the pen down, he just felt that he couldn't, and he just kept writing. But he didn't feel like it was coming from him, from his identity of him. And that's what then kept going, to the point that it became Conversations with God, the first book, and then since then there's been multiple other books. So highly recommend, if you want to dive deeper into what I am touching on here in this video. And you might think I'm bonkers, but honestly, those two books. some of the best books I have ever read or listened to. Let's be honest, I listen to them. And yeah, like, it's such a wonderful thing to feel the truth of the fact that we are all connected. When your loved ones pass on, they're still all connected. They're still part of the whole. Their human experience has ended, but their spirit is still with you. Their memory is definitely still with you. That we can measure a little bit more. But they're still with you. And you're still with them. And whatever their next path is, we don't know. We might have an idea, a feeling, a nudge. But yeah, part of coming and having this human experience is that we forget what is on the other side. And I think there's a beauty to that, because that allows us to have like the experience of seeing just how light we are, just how much love we are in essence. And the way that is shown is through the darkness, through the struggles, through the shadow. So, if you had a wonderful life, you'd grown up, everything was provided for you, you were happy 24/7, like, would you even know how to be grateful for that happiness? Would you appreciate that happiness? Because you've never had the shadow to see just how wonderful it is. Like, if you were happy all the time, would you know how would you know how happy you were? Do you know what I mean? Like, and if you're, but having those moments of sadness, the moments of unsureness, that shows you how good it is when you feel aligned and lit up and excited and enthusiastic and joy. Our emotions are a barometer for whether we're on the right path or not. Like, if you just look at it that simply, can you notice and perhaps choose differently in your day-to-day actions? Can you notice if something feels heavy? How can you choose a lighter feeling thought, a lighter feeling action? But also, can we thank the dark periods, the dark moments, the dark shadows? Because without the depth of the darkness that we've experienced, we wouldn't know the beauty, the true joy, the wonderful, wonderful truth of what the light is when you have those peak wonderful moments in your life, or even just good moments. You can only go as deep as you've gone. If you've only gone this deep in your darkness, and then you can only go that much higher, and like, say, the line's there, in your happiness. But if you've been through it and your depths of despair are down here, then you're capable of having the highest height, the lightest light, the biggest sense of love up here. And you really appreciate the polarity of that, the contrast of that, really. Contrast is the better word. Anyway, I'll leave it there today. That's just what I wanted to talk about. I did start this whole series for January thinking I was going to instigate a bunch of habits for myself, and invited other people to come along if they so felt. The only one I've stuck to is actually uploading a video per day. And that's okay, because I definitely overwhelm myself, but I haven't given up on continuing some habits. It's just, I don't think that is the purpose of me showing up daily here. I will happily update you with my habits if they're going bad or good or wherever they're at. But I just want to make sure that you feel like you can show up to these videos and learn something for yourself, gain something for yourself, that you can apply to your own life, or be curious to attach or consider for your own life. And that's really what I'm showing up for here. No matter my psychoanalysis and how I come off on a tired day and what comes out of my mouth, like, I am here on this channel because I want to share any wisdom that I can that might help you in your life up level and align and connect and find your joy, find your light. I want that for the world. So anyway, I will leave it there today, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Please send me comments and DMs and all the things if you feel called. I would love to know how this is hitting. Thank you.